Hi, my name is Matthew Mercer. I'm the voice of Leorio in Hunter x Hunter.
What do you mean, how come? You know how reckless he can get when it comes to the Kurta clan? That's why he needs to have a level-headed guy like me with him.
Right. You really care about your friends, don't you?
Hey, shut up, that's embarrassing.
It's always exciting whenever you have a character that you've already been with for a while transition into different media, and film media is kind of the biggest when it comes to storytelling. So it was huge. I didn't know at the time that this series had already gone to the big screen, so it was an unexpected surprise and kind of a responsibility that I know I had to carry then. I think there are plenty. There's a whole spectrum of moments in the film that kind of show all the different facets of his personality. His brashness and inability to kind of understand his limits, and the fact that even when he understands his limits, he still doesn't stop. He does what feels he needs to be right, whether or not he can succeed. He'll still try and fail, but still try. And I think that's very defining of him. But what you see in the film, and I mean, it's truncated a bit because it's just one story if you hadn't seen the series beforehand, but a huge part of the series leading up to him understanding where his skills lie, what his importance is in the group, and the fact that while he would want to go with Gon towards the end when he has to make that choice and offers to go, that he understands he's best left behind to take care of Kurapika. Knowing that you don't have to be the strongest fighter to be as important. And him accepting that and knowing this is my role, this is what I'm good at, and this is what really nobody else can do right now, and it's what's needed. And I think that was a big moment for him to go from his beginning of his story where he was just trying to strike out of the world and show how great he was to finally going, I know it makes me great, and this is for Gon to take care of.
Kurapika, get it together! You'll never get over your grief until you can accept it!
Comparatively to the series, it was unique to see Leorio a little more subdued. But I think that's partially because the stakes of the story were so intense that you have to kind of respect the emotional weight and gravity of the narrative. And he himself, even in those moments, is he's in that same pocket with everyone else in these moments of tension and mystery and worry. But those also make the few moments where he does break and get loud and ridiculous and extremely unable to understand why people are still making fun of him in the middle of it, make those moments even funnier and kind of stand out against it. Once again, also showing his growth as a character. He's able to take things a little more seriously and fit in that same tense pocket that a lot of his friends do. Or he might just be trying to copy him, I don't know. I don't think it's hard to play a character who constantly pushes himself against the biggest wall, because that's reminiscent of myself in a lot of ways. I think you have to respect that, as long as they're doing it for the right reasons. There's nothing wrong with thinking that you can still conquer the unconquerable. And I think that's kind of his, it's a large driving point to his character. He's constantly putting himself in situations where there's no way he could win. But because he's still trying, that's inspiring to those that possibly can. And it's kind of a weird leading by example type circumstance that I think is very important and very key to a lot of aspects of his character. So I didn't find it hard. I'm very familiar with the circumstance. I do not. It's very hard to find something that is at my belt, so it's easy to be punching above it. And me and him definitely have that in common. I'm very impressed with his ability with that blade. We've seen so many crazy attack special abilities and characters with unique skill sets, and yet he pulls out that blade and something's going down. It's kind of like the classic anime trope, put everything you have into one final attack. His focus has just been that dang blade. So it's got to be pretty powerful. As to whether or not there is any nin within the blade, I like to imagine there is, and he'll never find out. Never. The mystery will remain and float around. I don't know if he carries a lint roller with him more than he just has a bunch of very meticulously, tightly packed backup suits. Like, you know, some cases you see him open the suitcase and it's medical supplies. I like to think there's like a hidden trap back there and there's some sort of a bag of holding type circumstance where he just has an endless Doctor Who level closet of just the same suit repeatedly on forever. Maybe that's his special power. That's where his nin is. It's infinite suit summoning. Think about it. Think about it.
Gone isn't my only unripe fruit. The two of you are as well. I won't have you nibbled before your time.
Hey, quit saying such creepy stuff.
That's the thing. I more than probably most people grew up with a very entrenched clown discomfort. Largely thanks to Tim Curry's Pennywise and other such things. So Hisoka definitely carries that torch rather well. I think it's also the confident demeanor, the lulling voice of Keith Silverstein brings into it as well, where you just have this sense that he knows too much and is not going to really intervene unless something gets really weird. And he's just a strange character. It's off-putting. Yeah, I don't like him, but I like him. I'm conflicted. To all of you guys out there who've been with us on this awesome journey and who've been so open and accepting of us bringing life to these characters that are so well lauded since they were initially brought to life, thank you so much. We're excited to continue to explore these characters and their stories in the future and look forward to having more in the future.